All right, well, here we are. We've made it. Holy smokes, we made it through week 1, and we are now in week 2, right? Call it module 2, call it session 2, unit 2, whatever you want to call it, right? So I just want to kind of, follow up. I want to cover a couple things with you. And I want to start with going to the syllabus, okay? So the syllabus is 18 pages long, okay? Believe it or not, this is not one of my longer syllabi. So typically my syllabi are going to be somewhere between 21 and probably 25 pages long. So this one's pretty short, but there's a lot that's packed into it, okay? So this week in Unit 2 or Module 2 or Week 2 or Session 2, we're going to cover a number of things, okay? So if you go to the syllabus, here's what I want you to focus on. I want you to look at the topic, okay? You see the unit, you see the dates, you see the topic. We're going to focus on good jobs, positive psychology, success, and well-being, okay? The assignments, okay, are going to be the discussions, so this idea of learning, unlearning, and relearning. The discussions are going to be success and well-being. The discussions are going to be the 3, 2, 1 wrap-up. I'll talk about that here in a bit. You then have a Holland occupational themes. It's your first assessment, okay? It's a free assessment. Your first book review is due, okay? So Benner book review, according to what's listed in the syllabus. Make sure you read through that description. And then you have your vocation and calling presentation, okay? So you can see that what's clearly laid out for you in the syllabus in Unit 2 is what's due, okay? I've had some questions. There's been some apparent confusion about what's due because they're seeing things in future units or maybe in the grade book that has a date that doesn't connect to the specific week. And I want to reiterate this again. The only things, I'm going to pluralize that because there's multiple, that you need to focus on in the given week, right? So last week was week 1, this week is week 2. The only things that you need to focus on for this week is what is assigned this week, okay? So click on modules, all right? Go to Unit 2, and you can read through all of these things. So if you just kind of scroll through it, okay, so the learning outcomes for this week are going to be better understanding what everyone wants and how success is defined, and to rethink preconceived notions and ideas on career and vocation, okay? So that is what we are out to accomplish this week, okay? So if you go from there, okay, you'll click on that little section, click on next again. There's some articles and everything. You'll find that there are 3 articles. This is what's to be read this week, okay? What everyone wants in the world, right? What everyone in the world wants, sorry, good job, well-being in the workplace, and the flip side of Holland congruence, okay? I understand that last week there was some challenges in accessing the videos. There should not be this week, okay? If there is for some reason, please let me know. I'm clicking on them actually right now as I speak, and I'm able to access all of the articles, okay? So they're there for you. Make sure you read through them. It's really helpful. It kind of helps to frame the conversation and the content that we're looking at this week, okay? So click on next, and you're just going to walk through every single component, right? So Unit 2 multimedia, this is where this video is actually housed. I'll also put it in the announcements, okay? So it's got an older video, so LDRS520.Unit1 video announcement is actually older, so don't pay attention to that one. Click on next again. You're going to want to watch the one that I'm posting right now. And then you've got these questions, okay? So how do you define success? What influences your definition of success more than anything else? If you could go back in time, what do you wish you could tell your 18-year-old self about success as you see it now? Okay, maybe you're 23 years old or 25 years old. You're not that far from 18, but you've probably seen a lot of life and experienced a lot of important experiences in the last however many years since you were 18. You've learned a lot. What would you say to your 18-year-old self from your current day self, right? So there's all these questions. And again, if you're reading through this, I've got some questions about when things are due. It's all here, okay? Instructions. Post one initial post by 11:59 on Wednesday. Post 2 responses before the end of the unit. So the end of the unit is always Sunday at midnight, okay? So some of you, I've seen you've already started these things. It's great. It's no problem to work ahead. However, remember, what I want you to do is focus on what's at hand in the specific unit so you don't get lost, okay? So click on next again, and then you'll have learn, unlearn, and relearn, okay? Discuss why the concepts of unlearning and relearning in a class like understanding vocation change role, especially as it pertains to leadership, are so important, right? So discuss why are they important? And from what has been discussed so far, why do you feel personally what do you feel you need to unlearn regarding the ideas of vocation, calling, and career development? Why do you feel this way? There's a great video which I'll actually try to fit this in if we can get it in for this unit to watch if you haven't seen this before. Okay, and again, you've got click on next again, and after you've taken time to digest this week's readings, videos, and other learning activities, post the following. Okay, 3 takeaways, 2 questions, 1 application. Although you are welcome to respond to your peers, it is not required for this forum. Also, you will not be able to see your peers' response until after you make an initial post. Okay, so here again, what you need to do is respond to the 3-2-1 by the end of the unit, because it's in relationship to everything that you've explored so far. You can't respond until you've actually completed all the readings and so forth. Okay, so it's due Sunday at midnight. Okay, so then you've got this assignment description. You're going to go to step 1. You're going to visit the website. Okay, there's an actual link. It's going to take you outside of Canvas. You will complete the assessment. You'll provide a brief overview of your results. Okay, do you agree or not agree? And then there's another site that you click on that takes you out to that site. Okay, and you put in your 3 results. Okay, and I'm not going to say a whole lot right now. I'm going to actually refer back to this when I come up for a video, probably the first part of week 3, and I'll talk more about this. Okay, so the instructions there again, review the instructions above, save your work using the following name and convention, last name, first name, initial, blah, 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 assessment 1, and then you submit your assignment as an attachment below. Okay, again, very, very straightforward. Everything that's assigned is due in the unit it's assigned in Canvas. Okay, and then you have an assignment description for The Gift of Being Yourself by David Benner. Okay, these are very brief. Everything you need to know is all in the unit. Okay, and then you've got your vocation and calling presentation. Okay, so there's an article that I'm going to send you. There's a list of them, which I'm just realizing now. They're very brief. They're 1 to 2 pages, so they're super short. And I'm wondering if, because we've extended, we're going to do it this way. So I'm just thinking out loud, sorry. This is the exact same thing would happen if I was live in class. Because we've extended the due dates for your first week's courses, okay, or your first week's content to Wednesday night as opposed to Sunday, given, getting used to everything with class and books arriving and all that. I'm going to give you a few extra days on this assignment because I still need to share these articles with you, okay? So I think there's 12 or 14 students in the class, so I'll make sure you get this content. I'll send it out in a separate email tomorrow. So watch for that, but I'm going to give you a couple extra days on this assignment. Hopefully not to confuse anybody, but I'm going to give you until probably, again, we'll do Wednesday of next week for a very brief presentation, okay? So you can read through all of this. I'll give you the articles, and we'll go from there, okay? So super straightforward assignments. Click on next again, and then you've got vocation calling presentations, initial post copy for outline, slide deck, and link to your vocational calling presentation by the end of Unit 2. And then you'll watch at least 2 presentations. They don't have to have any voiceover or anything, just the slides themselves, and ask at least 2 questions and make at least 2 comments, okay? So I'll talk more about that. That's due by the end of Unit 3, which we can still accomplish that even if you take a couple extra days to complete the assignment, okay? And then there's a couple things that are upcoming. And it's going to talk about how the Buckingham book review is due Unit 3. You can kind of go from there, okay? So everything hopefully is really straightforward. I hope that's not more confusing. There is a lot that's due in this class. I hope it's not overwhelming. But I want to remind you that if you were to be in a face-to-face class, we would be in class for 5 hours, right? So Typically, our face-to-face courses are going to run for an 8-week class, 4:45. If I'm teaching an evening class, to 9:45. These are online, so the expectation is that you might be spending upwards of 5 hours in the online classroom. Okay, so the reading doesn't count towards those requirements, those time frames, because you wouldn't be reading in class, you'd be reading outside of class, right? The assignment work that you've been completing doesn't count as in-class assignments. So these discussions, the things that you're working on, if it takes you 5 hours, so be it, right? That's just kind of that's how things happen, right? That's just the reality. So you'll see there's lots of things to be done, things that are due, and so forth, things that you should be working on. If you click on the vocational profile and plan that's due at the end of the unit, this is the stuff that you should be working on this week, okay? So one of the things I want to mention in this VPP, it's a bigger assignment. What I don't want you to do, okay, I don't want you to do is let me say it again, I don't want you to wait until the end of the term, okay? So there's a lot that's due here, okay? So it's due Unit 8, and it's all laid out for you, every single module, okay? So if you click on Module 1, it wasn't necessarily highlighted in my video, but it was there, okay? So you should have been kind of reading through all these things and starting on that. If you didn't start on the VPP, that's okay. Now is the time to do so, okay? So everything you need to know is in there, and I'll talk more about that. I'll post another video later this week, but I want you to read through the vocational profile and plan that's due by the end of Unit 8, but you've got to start working on that now, okay? It's a big assignment. I'll just say that up front. It's a big assignment that's going to take you a good amount of time, all right? So please, please, please be focused on getting started with that, okay? It's a really important assignment. I think you'll find great value in it, but it's something that you simply cannot wait to the end of the class to start on, okay? So again, a lot's packed in. This is why, if you really use this class for what I hope you'll use it for, it's a great course to really take you deep into your overall learning and understanding of what vocation is, and I hope you will. I hope you'll make the most of this. I've taught this class many times, live and face-to-face or online, and I hear the same thing all the time. This is one of the most transformational courses for students. They learn so much about themselves. They learn so much about what vocation is, career development, calling, and so forth. And then they're able to turn around and help other people with their own understanding of what vocation is, and it's really powerful. So hope you make the most of it. Really dig in deep. Read through the syllabus, read through the syllabus, read through the syllabus, read through the syllabus, proofread your assignments. When all else fails, ask questions, email me. I might actually write back and say, hey, the answer's in the syllabus, or did you watch my video? But at least I want to know what's going on, because maybe I'm not being clear in something, okay? So watch for an email coming out probably tomorrow evening. I'll give you the articles, the vocation and calling articles that you'll choose from. In fact, I'll probably just give you a website, which I may even do here in this video here. I'm still going to give you some extra time. I'm just going to give you a website. You'll choose an article from this website, do a presentation, and then you'll respond to your classmates' articles by the end of Unit 3. And I'll give you specifics and make sure it's all clear and all that, okay? So I know, lots of information, lots of content, but you're doing a great job, so keep it up. Remember, everything from Unit 1 is not late, even if it's past the due date, okay? If it's past the due date, I'm still going to give you until Wednesday of this week to get things in, okay? It's not late. Please hear me say that. After Wednesday, I won't take it. So because this assignment or this course is so time sensitive and it's so full of assignments, you've got to make sure that you are on top of all of your assignments, or else you will get behind and it will not go well for you. All right. So everything from week 1 is due no later than Wednesday, but starting today, everything is due as assigned in the syllabus and in Canvas itself, except for I'm giving you 3 extra days to submit your vocation and calling response paper and presentation, okay? And then you'll still be responding to your classmates as laid out in Canvas and in the syllabus by the end of Unit 3. And I'll send a note with the link to the articles that can be read with all the specifics on what's required of that. All right? So if you have any questions, feel free to give me an email, and I'll get back to you as soon as I can. Hope you're having a great week so far. It's only Monday, but I know it's going to be Friday before you know it. And I look forward to seeing you online this week.